Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Earlier, I did a video about the police investigating non-crime hate incidents. This is the existing thing that they do. But as of the 1st of April, of course, they've got to deal with a whole new bag of tricks. The Hate Crime Bill. Now, this is going to be so much fun. It's going to absolutely be the best thing that's ever happened. It's going to launch 1,000 videos, let me tell you that. We are going to have a lot of fun over this because it's Humza Yousaf's flagship policy, and like everything else that he puts his funny little hands on, it's rubbish. It's wrong. It won't work. It'll fall apart, and it'll be very, very humiliating for him when he has to backtrack it and say, okay, we got it wrong. Not that he'll ever say we got it wrong. Of course, he'll come up with some other excuse. But it is going to be great, especially when you consider that the police are obliged and have admitted it, that they will investigate every single complaint of hate crime under this law. Now, this law is a very bad law. It's so bad, it's almost draconian. It's the law you would see in a fascist state. It's a North Korean type law. But because it's Humza Yousaf's, it's so badly done, we're just going to play with it because he is an idiot. And we will prove it. Let's have a look at this piece. But hold on to your hats. Hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button because you're going to love this one. Here it goes. So Police Scotland will investigate every complaint of hate crime under the dangerous new law. Now, we've been saying this for some time, that they are obliged by the law to investigate. There is no getting away from it. They have to investigate. It's a crime against the police if they don't. Humza Yousaf is such an idiot. Now, of course, we know what this law came from. So a little bit of history. He brought this law in when he was the Justice Secretary and he drafted it. And what he was drafting was a hate law that he thought he would use to stop people hating on his gang. And effectively what it is, it's a blasphemy law coming in the back door. But because he's a very, very stupid man and he doesn't understand that actions have consequences, and he doesn't understand that when you make you move from the specific to the general, then that opens up a whole new can of worms. Then he's brought this in, and it is just open to abuse. It's basically it's a charter. It's a charter for people like me and like you to absolutely humiliate Humza Yousaf, and we must. So, since they are obliged by law to investigate every single hate crime, on Monday, the 1st of April, listen to whatever any politician says, but particularly the SNP and the Greens. And as soon as they say something that you find, and here's the thing, vaguely offensive, contact the police, go into one of the hate crime reporting centres, do what you will, and report it. And the police are legally obliged to investigate it. And then do it. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then keep doing it. And if you can make 10 complaints a day, make 10 complaints a day. And if 1,000 of you, look, I've got nearly 12,000 subs, right? If every single one of you on day one made one complaint, the police would be so overwhelmed that they would be begging on bended knee for Humza Yousaf to repeal this ridiculous law. He'll either do it and admit that he's a complete and utter knob, or he won't, and that, of course, will utterly destroy any reputation he's got that he thinks he is in any way a half-decent politician. It's a lose-lose for Humza Yousaf. It doesn't matter what he does from this point forward. He's lost. And it's joyous. It's just such a great law. It's got to be repealed. Labour and the Tories have both said that they will, whatever happens, whoever gets in next, whatever, will repeal this law. They just say it's a hideous law and they're going to repeal it. So it won't even be a law for long. As soon as Labour get in next time there's a Labour government in Scotland under, Holyrood, they've said, like, day one, they're repealing it, and the Tories are backing them. And I think the Lib Dems are backing them as well. Everyone. It's only the SNB that want it. And it's cracking. Anyway, despite a new policy that will see around 1 in 20 traditional crimes, such as theft and vandalism, go uninvestigated, officers have been told they must probe every single, what they call deplorable, hate crime. But no one within this law has defined what hate is. They have defined that it's when people are offended. But I could see someone wearing, flares, and I could be offended by that. Is that a hate crime? No, it's not a hate crime at all. But I am offended, and then according to this law, if I've been offended, I can go and complain. And the police must investigate. It's fantastic, isn't it? Every time a politician says something, I'm offended. I'm going to complain. And they have to investigate. And when Ross Greer is having policeman after policeman after policeman after policeman knocking on his door 10 times a day, every day, even then, even little Ross Greer will have to think maybe backing this wasn't as good an idea as first he thought. As for Harvey, my God, they're going to have to set up an entire division just to deal with that, aren't they? It's a joke, but it's funny. And I hope that you join me in our journey of humiliation for Humza. Police Scotland has insisted that every single complaint made under Humza Yousaf's new hate laws will be investigated, despite taking no action on thousands of traditional crimes. The Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act will be enforced from the 1st of April, and that's a very apt day. Some 3 years after the controversial legislation was passed at Holyrood, police have received additional training, and a nationwide network of hate crime reporting centres have been created, including the one, as I did yesterday, in the gay sex shop. Loved that. Bizarrely, there we go. Bizarrely, these sites include a mushroom farm, a salmon farmer, and even a sex shop in Glasgow. I note the mushroom farm. Very apt site, don't you think? Kept in the dark and fed bullshit. Although a Force spokesman said similar venues had been in use for a number of years, adding, we constantly review these alongside the Scottish Government. I said I was laughing about it yesterday. I don't have a problem with being in a gay sex shop. I'm just thinking that you have to wonder how many people would go in there to make a complaint and then come out with something, Anyway, he said any business or organisation can volunteer to be a third-party reporting centre. Right, quick question. Do you think they're getting money for doing that? And in which case, if you were a business owner, set yourself up and get some money off the state for nothing. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Doesn't matter. But I don't care about the individual premises getting money. What I want to know is how much is this whole thing costing in total? And is it coming out of police budget, or is there a separate budget? And if it's a separate budget, is it coming out of the NHS money, schools money, wherever? Who knows? Anyway, staff are trained to ensure they can assist victims or witnesses. Hate crime and discrimination of any kind is deplorable and entirely unacceptable, and will investigate every report. But that's all very fine and pleasant. But do tell, what is hate? Define, what is your definition of where you go from ridicule to hate? Because if I ridicule someone, is that a hate crime? If I'm taking the piss, is that a hate crime? If I'm pointing out something that may be hateful but is true, is that a hate crime? You see the problems they have. Bad definitions. Are you saying that I would be prosecuted for hate if I told the truth? In which case, it's the truth that's hateful, not me. How do you arrest the truth? It's weird. But again, this is Humza Yousaf we're dealing with, Low IQ. Needs to go to that mushroom farm because he's got the IQ of one, hasn't he? Anyway, it comes as police bosses are rolling out the new policy where 1 in 20 crimes will not be investigated where there's no witnesses or CCTV. So there again, someone could claim that you were hate-filled. Oh, he said something hateful. Is there a witness? Is there CCTV? No. Well, the police won't come then. And then strangely, they won't come for it, but they've still got to legally investigate it. It must be hard, I honestly, it must be hard going through life being Humza Yousaf. Because life's hard enough without being that stupid. Anyway, Scottish Conservative Shadow Justice Secretary Russell Findlay said, law-abiding Scots will be astonished to hear that while Police Scotland will no longer investigate every crime, they intend to devote precious officer time on every single alleged hate incident. Hamza Yousaf's dangerous hate crime law risks harming free speech and should not be a priority police service, which has suffered years of damaging SNP cuts. But it is now. It is the only thing they're going to investigate. Nothing else will get investigated. They won't have the resources. Not when they're doing 12,000 hate crime incidents a day on day one. How many police are there in Scotland? There's only about 15,000 police, isn't there? So if they're getting, it's more or less every, and they're not all going to be on duty at once. So let's say at most 6,000 are on duty, 7,000 are on duty at once. That means they're going to have to spend every day they're going to have to investigate 3 hate crime incidents. How long's that? Hour and a half each? It's a joke. I literally cannot get my head round how dumb this is. And then I think it's Hamza Yousaf, isn't it? It's going to be dumb. Anyway, critics pointed out that many hate crime reports will be anonymous and based on allegedly offensive comments on social media sites such as Facebook, X and Instagram. This will effectively mean that police will spend even more time attempting to track down faceless online trolls and even bot accounts. Posting on X, Scott's law expert Scott Worley said, "Does this apply to other crimes? Discrimination of any kind is deplorable. But what do they mean by discrimination? Is discrimination really a police matter?" Third-party reporting centre for people to report hate crimes without the need to speak to an officer were introduced in the wake of the Met Police failures identified by the Stephen Lawrence inquiry long time ago. Now, there we go. I'm finishing that. I'll come up and we'll round off. But it's going to be fun, isn't it? We're going to have so much fun with this. I mean, it's a horrendous law. But boy, are we going to abuse it going up. Now, I want to make a solemn oath. I really do mean this. A solemn oath to the subbies, the viewers, everyone. You make a comment in the comments section. I don't like it. I won't be running off to the police. I promise you. If it's humorous, I'll laugh at it. If it's a genuine comment because you don't disagree or you disagree with what I'm saying, I'll leave it there. I'm not soft-skinned. I am not, a little crybaby. If you are abusive, I won't report you. I'll just simply delete the comment. If you're abusive a second time, I just delete you. You just can't chat on the things. That's right, that's my power. I have that power. I'm not going to go, "Oh, Mr. Policeman, bad man said naughty words." Because I'm an adult. I've grown up. I've got thick skin. However, whenever, and I'm only doing this for politicians. Whenever a politician says something and I don't like it and I think it's there in the complaint, I'm going to complain. I'm going to say it's a hate crime. I'm going to force the police to investigate it, to go and speak to these officers. The officers go and speak to these MPs, MSPs, councillors, whatever they are. No politician is safe. Do not care. No politician is safe. We complain, and we all do it. We must all do it. We must all make these complaints. And we overwhelm them. And eventually they'll just go, right, get rid of the law. It's unpoliceable. The police has said it's unpoliceable. Joe Farrell, the chief constable, said it's unpoliceable. But they're going to police and they're going to investigate every single one. I actually think they're doing it deliberately. I think the police are saying this and they're going to, but I think they're doing it to make a point. So well done to them. Join me. Do this. Let's do this, folks. Let's make Hamza Yousaf's life hell. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, press the like button, ring the bell, and then let's just play around. Let him find out. Let him find out. Till next time, stay safe, stay well. I will speak to you later. Bye.